Hey, everybody. 8 o'clock Sunday evening. Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. Time for some Sunday night live chat. Looks like we got a slug of you guys on here and ready to go already. Holy cow. Dean's here. Buick Man's here. Glenn's on. Pete's here. Bill Wagaman. Kevin L. I'm sure I'm missing some of you guys. There's so many comments on here already. Jim Petty's here. Kenny Peterson. Uncle Shaggy. Dad's on. Glad you guys are all here. And let's see if Facebook connects. Facebook gave me a different format tonight setting up, so we're going to see how that works. With Facebook, you never know. It's kind of a crapshoot anymore. But obviously, we got a special guest here, so we'll get to him here in just a second. We got a couple things I want to touch on real quick. Obviously, the Nobody's page on Facebook, guys, it's great. I love what you guys are doing on there. Neil's here with us. Dennis is on. Tweedly D. Mary's here. Leo. Frank's here. The camera's kind of in the way of comments tonight, so I'm going to try to catch what I can. Jeff from Ottawa. Albert's on. Big job, made it. But the Nobody's page is going awesome. If you guys are not on the Nobody's page on Facebook, let's load that up. Yeah, right there. Get on there. You guys, the interaction has been amazing. The posts have been great. It's super cool seeing what you guys are working on. Like I said, I don't comment on a lot of it, but no, I do look at it just about every day. So Mark's here with us. Kevin's on. Johnny Z back tonight. Lee from New York. Yeah, I forgot you were going to Vietnam this week, Tweedly D. Glad you're here with us. So Shayla just said the camera's a little blurry. We've got it at a little bit different angle since I've got Phil here tonight, but we'll work with best of what we can. So anyway, wanted to bring that up. Scott's with us on Facebook, so we know we've got somebody on Facebook. At least that much of it's working. Who knows? And real quick, obviously, if you guys caught the shorts, did go to KKOA, Custom Camps of America in Salina. Great show. Glenn hooked us up by posting some pictures from that. I do have a full video coming shortly. I'll throw it up later tonight or tomorrow. Just some walk around stuff. They always have music going there, so it's copyrighted stuff. So the parameters are a little bit different, but I can throw it up so that you guys will be able to see it. Plus, we got to hang out with Rico, and we're going to see one of Rico's trucks. We did a quick walk around on Rico's truck as well. So there's number one. There's a Dort for sale up in Canada. Billy's here with us. Billy Bowman on tonight. Mark's ready to go tonight. Yeah, we are 3 minutes in. I'm sorry about that, Mark. I'm a little behind. There you guys go. Time to get started. So, not hearing on Facebook, and that could be possible because the Facebook format was completely different tonight, and I did not have time to. Okay, we don't have sound on Facebook. Don't ask me why. They changed the format tonight, and I'm going to put a post up here to the Facebook guys. Okay. All right. Let me tell those guys they may have to jump to Facebook or to YouTube. All right. So anyway, that's what I've been doing this week, but let's get to the important stuff. My good friend Phil Skinner is here tonight with us. Phil cold called me, 5 or 6 years ago, probably. Said, hey, I'm coming through your area. I got a bunch of old cars. I was like, well, I got old cars. So he's like, hey, I want to stop by and see you got some Edsels. So yeah, we got some Edsels. Little did I know at the time, this guy is like the Edsel guru. And he also writes. He hooked me up with Old Cars Weekly. That's how I got to know Angelo. And that's how I started working with him, was all thanks to Phil. So, multiple different things. We're going to let Phil get talking here shortly, but just to kind of keep things going here. Like I said, you've traveled the country, you work for auctions, you write. You kind of touch all different facets of the car world. Edsel's obviously your forte. Second to none on Edsel's. I think that's a pretty fair statement. So I'm going to let Phil go ahead and start enlightening some of you guys. I think I've got it to where he can see comments. If you guys want to throw some questions out to him. But Phil, I guess tell us a little bit about how you started writing, your love with Edsel's, why you even came through today. So lots of things going on.
All right. Well, I'm coming back from the 55th annual rally for the International Edsel Club. We just met this past week in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. We were there for several days. Just prior to that, I'd been in Auburn, Indiana, where I work. I work for the Worldwide Auctioneers Group in Auburn, Indiana, and we're preparing for our Labor Day weekend sale. We have about 375 cars, about 150 lots of very special memorabilia. And and I started off writing. I had been with the Sheriff's Department in Orange County, was involved in an accident, started writing while I was doing recovery. And next thing I know, I was an automotive journalist. Ended up working for a company called Kelly Blue Book. I was their senior market editor. I thought, oh, senior, I've been here for so long. It's because I know so much. And they said, no, you're just the oldest person in the building. Anyway, about 2017, I think it was. So that's like 7 years ago. Somebody had sent to me a satellite photo of an Edsel sitting in a junkyard somewhere in Kansas. We did a lot of, Google Earth searches. Next thing I know, I found Chad's yard. We came down. We played Edsel. He has shown me a number of other things. We've done a couple of little adventures. I also write for Old Cars Weekly. Have a column, occasional column I call it, that's called Doc Boneyards. Been writing that since 1991. And I love doing junkyards. Junkyards to me are the best thing in the world. And people like Chad who preserve and hold on to these items is great, in my opinion. I got into Edsel's. I have no idea why I fell into Edsel. Oh, yeah. My brother bought a 60 Ford Starliner brand new. And I remember as a kid, we were driving down the road and I saw a 60 Edsel going the other way. I was a little kid. I didn't know what it was. And I pointed out, ooh, a customized 60 Ford. And he smacked me, told me that was an Edsel. And if I ever bought an Edsel, I would be disowned from the family. So when I could, I bought an Edsel, and they still haven't disowned me. So that's kind of it. And I just love Edsels. And if you got any Edsel questions, I'll try to help answer them for you.
And one thing about the Edsel you've got now, there's Rico and Jess. You've got a very special Edsel now.
Yes, I think it is.
Well,
I've had it for like 38 years.
I mean, they made very, very few of them. It's a beautiful car. And what's super cool about it is it's got a really long roof. So you've got, now how many of them did they make?
Of this particular model, they made 216. And mine's one of the 216. Are you able to do
Yeah,
that?
it should show it, yeah. So there is Phil's Edsel, one of the handful of 1960 station wagons still in existence. Great blue color. It's a V8 car too, isn't it?
It is a 352 V8. It has over 300,000 miles on it.
So super cool car. Obviously, wagons are awesome. And, one of only a handful of wagons left in the world. They only made a couple of handfuls to start with. That's
Yeah, the 60 Edsel was I call it contractual obligations. Ford had gotten these dealers to spend a lot of money to be dealers, and they went ahead and created the 60 Ford so that dealers wouldn't sue them for running out of business. And but in the meantime, behind the scenes, Ford was trying to get all the dealers to resign or quit. And when they got down to 5 dealers left, there were a lot of dealers that were dual. They were selling Fords, Mercurys, and Lincolns beside the Edsel. But there were 5 dealers left that were selling only the Edsel. And when it got down to that, they said, okay, we can pull the plug. And those 5 dealers did eventually capitulate and rolled over, and that was it.
So, and we were talking a little bit earlier, just a little bit of Edsel history, and also,
Thank you, Kenny. He said nice car.
the Edsel world, obviously, they made them basically 2.5 years, not even 2.5 years.
Yeah, well, they started in July of 57 for the 58 models. Came out September 4th of 57 as a 58 model. They had the 59, which was a full run. And then 60, they introduced them on October 15th. And 1 month and 4 days later, they killed the brand. So it didn't stick around too long.
Now, if you guys are interested in Edsels, Charles is here tonight. Bill Disk made it. A design that failed became such a popular and desirable car. Yeah, they have been, and that's where you were just at, the International Edsel Club meet this
Cult
weekend.
Club. There are two major Edsel clubs in the United States. One is the International Edsel Club. That's where we were. Can't see the logo, but anyway, we were at Cedar Rapids. And then coming up the week after Labor Day in Ontario, California, the Edsel Owners Club is going to be meeting. And yes, I will be there for that. That's my home territory.
So the 60 is definitely the rarest model.
No. Well, the 60 by production, yeah.
Yeah.
The absolute rarest model many people consider is the, they had a deluxe interior in 1960, and there was a four-door hardtop. They only made 31 of those. But the rarest to me is a 60 Edsel 9-passenger wagon with a 6-cylinder engine. They only made 3 of those. So, and the Edsels are fun cars too. And the neat thing about an Edsel is you can still find a nice, drivable, complete car, 59 Edsel sedan, for under $7,000 or $8,000, and it's not like buku money. But you go up to your convertibles and some of the more desirable models, and yes, we've had a couple of convertibles top the 150,000 mark.
Now, how many 60 convertibles did they make?
There were 76 production 60 Edsels built.
But you've got to be careful on the 60 convertible today.
There have been a number of fakes done, and this is why we have support groups out there. If somebody finds one, they say, "Ooh, is that a real one or not?" We do have a registry. I actually maintain the Edsel registry, and we pretty much know all of the cars that are out there. But the 60 Ford was so similar to a 60 Edsel that a number of, shall we say, people who decided they wanted a rare car would take a 60 two-door sedan, take those parts off, put them on a 60 Ford convertible, and voila. Fortunately, there are a couple little differences, and that's what makes it fun.
But, and this is one thing that you're definitely an expert on, is the trim tag on an Edsel. Tells you the true story, doesn't it?
The data plate does.
Yes.
Yeah. And
speaking of the data plate, and I've sent you a lot of them over the years whenever I find them.
Yes.
And you've got a registry, a massive database on these Edsels.
Right, we do. We have over 16,100 Edsels on file, and probably a good percentage of them. Here is a, if you can show that.
Yeah.
That is a 1960 Edsel. That's a 4-door hardtop. That is one of only 31 built. And that's it. That's kind of a neat thing. That car happens to be turquoise in color. It's owned by a gentleman who's owned it for a number of years. Gorgeous car.
Oh, there's Gray Kitty. Gray Kitty's bothering Phil tonight. Hey, let's see what's going on. Devin's here. Tony's here. Tractor Mike is on. And Gray Kitty is on now, too. So I guess the whole crew's complete. Now, one thing about these data plates, and you have an entire, how many Edsels have you traced as of now?
As of right now, we are a little over 16,100.
So, and how many Edsels were built total?
100. Well, there was 110,847 built in the U.S. About another 7,489 were built in Canada.
So you basically have 10% of all the Edsels ever built.
We have a little over 10% of all the Edsels, and it's ongoing. And we do have all the production figures. And like I say, if somebody comes across an Edsel and wants information on it, all they have to do is contact us. We do have a very active Facebook page. It's called Edsel Restoration and Preservation Group. There's also another one called Edsel Garage, filled with Edsel enthusiasts. And a lot of people think that Edsel was named after Henry Ford's son. You do know the reason why it's called an Edsel.
I just always thought it was Henry Ford's son.
That's what the company wanted you to think. Edsel is actually an acronym, and it means every day something else leaks. And I like cats.
Loader Mike's on tonight. Yep, and that's right, Tractor Mike. You remember I sent you a picture of that front end?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in Tractor Mike's shop right now, that 60 front end. So.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that was a good find. I'd love to know the car it came off of.
Yeah, for your database.
Yeah.
But that's what's, and that's one interesting thing about the Edsels, is the fact that you guys, because of these data plates and the information that Ford put on these data plates, you can still track these cars and most everything about them. Colors, options, engines, things like that.
One of the things I do when a person finds an Edsel, they'll send me in the data plate information. It sometimes is new for the registry. Even if it's not, I will give a complete breakdown of what that data plate means. Plus, then I will compare it with others on file, and I'll give the guy a report and say, hey, you have a 58 Corsair Tudor hardtop. It is copper, black, and white in color. There was 2,133 built. Yours is the 650th we have found, and it is the 15th one in that color. So we kind of do that. We also will come up with sometimes finding a consecutive serial number, even though the cars were not built in numerical order. It's still kind of neat to know somebody, if your car is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, knowing who has 1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
And that's what's amazing, because I see these posts when these guys send those data plates in on those Facebook pages, and it's pretty amazing what you guys can tell them based on, and you've been doing this for decades, obviously.
I started collecting serial numbers when I was in auto theft when I was in law enforcement, so I got really into serial numbers. And the Edsel I found was so intriguing. And I like Ford products in general. I am a Ford fanatic. All cars are good. I don't want to upset you Chevy guys. My daughter even married a Mopar fanatic. Didn't work out, but it was still we could never understand the language he was speaking. But it was I love all cars, but Ford products are my real forte.
So, have you been covering anything interesting as far as riding lately?
Just while I've been very busy with our catalog for Worldwide.
Worldwide, yeah.
But I have been doing a series of articles on Fords with old cars, watching the Fords go by. And I've been exploring some certain items like serial numbers, part numbers. And Ford part numbers are probably the best in the industry as far as I'm concerned, because they're so, once you learn the system, they're relatively easy to learn.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I did a couple articles on those, and we have some other stuff working for watching the Fords come by in old cars.
Yeah, I've caught a few of those articles as well. Steve's here with us. So obviously, Worldwide sale coming up Labor Day weekend.
Yes, sir.
In conjunction with everything that goes on in Auburn Labor Day weekend.
And I'll tell you what, any of your listeners who want to come to Auburn for Labor Day weekend, if they will contact me, and it's easy, it's phil@worldwideauctioneers.com. If you want to come out, see the sale, send me an email, let me know, and I will comp you admission into the auction.
Nice.
For free.
So, hey, if anybody's around Auburn and wants to catch the auction, it's a great deal.
And if you want to bid on memorabilia, I can help you get registered for that. You want to bid on a car, bring money. We can get you registered for that. I'm selling one of my cars, too.
Okay.
I'm selling my 59 Rambler, or 60 Rambler Ambassador. It is a 327, 275 horse, has the BorgWarner T85 3-speed overdrive.
That's an interesting
nice car with 1,285 miles on it.
Actual?
That's what's on the odometer.
Oh.
The car was given a full frame-off restoration a number of years ago.
I know you showed me pictures of it. It's a pretty sharp little car.
It's a nice car. Pink and white.
Yeah. So what else is going on? What else have you been seeing happening in the industry?
Well, the market is just really crazy. We watch car sales. Everything's been just really nuts. We have Pebble Beach coming up in just a couple of weeks, and all eyes are tuned to see because that's session of sales. You have Gooding, we have RM.
Yep.
I think Broad Arrow is doing a sale out there. Meekum has a 600 car collection he's doing, and records are set out there every year. Jay Leno calls that the annual meeting of the more people with more money than brains club. And there's some very smart people there, so that gives you how much money's out there. He says it's a competition. It's where the billionaires shame the millionaires.
And obviously, and I think there's some pretty hard hitting cars out there. Like isn't there a 250 GT Ferrari?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like some hard, like multi-million-dollar cars.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be very interesting to see what the market does.
Will be, I'm sure there'll be a couple of 8-figure, well over the 10 million mark out there. There has been the last 10, 20 years, I guess. It hasn't failed, and it's the creme de la creme. I can't even afford to go there. I used to go to it all the time. It really got to be, shall we say, pricey.
Yeah.
And even though my bill was being paid, I ended up going to the Woodward Dream Cruise. I had more fun there.
Yeah, I know, because Wicks will be out there in a couple weeks. I think he said Super 8's like $500 a night.
Yeah, that and a 4-night minimum.
Oh, and a 4-night minimum at $500 a night for a Super 8. So, okay, Pete. So the article I just read said Edsel was built to be a way to keep folks on the Ford buying in the Ford family, just like the Chevy Buick Cadillac. What happened to Edsel to make that not work?
Well, okay, Edsel was to be a step-up car, as you mentioned. If you went over to Chevrolet, you started at Chevrolet. If you got a little more money, you bought a Pontiac, a little more an Oldsmobile, a little more a Buick, and when you hit the big time, you got Cadillac. If you went over to Chrysler Corporation, you started with a Plymouth, you went to a Dodge, then the DeSoto, then the Chrysler, then the Imperial. You went to Ford at the time, all you had was a Ford and a Mercury and a Lincoln. And so there were gaps there. So the Edsel was to try to fill the gaps. And the car was right on target. The only problem is the target moved. It was a little bit too much. It was interesting. If you went to Canada, Ford of Canada had 5 distinct brands up there. They had the Ford, which was a Ford car. If you went to a Mercury dealer, they had a car called the Meteor, which was based on the Ford. Ford dealers were selling something called the Monarch, and then Mercury dealers were selling Mercuries. So there's 4 cars, plus the Mercury dealers had the Lincolns. Yeah, I think if Ford had come up with some type of system like that for the U.S., it might have been a little wiser. But yeah, the Edsel was just a car that was not, there was some internal issues. Robert McNamara, who was vice president of North American vehicle operations, he hated the Edsel, did not have any desire for it. A week before the Edsel came out, they had a big press unveiling, big banquet for all the media writers. And one of the gentlemen who was involved with the advertising saw him and said, well, Mr. McNamara, what do you think of Ford or the Edsel? And McNamara's comment was, I have plans to discontinue it. And this is the week before it went on sale.
And McNamara was a bean counter guy.
McNamara was a bean counter. Yeah. And he felt the Edsel sales would steal money from the Ford division, which was his baby.
Okay. So basically it was sabotage to start with.
It was basically, yes. Yeah. And then the other problem was it was an upscale mid-sized car, mid-price car, and it came out in the fall of '57, and there was what we call the Eisenhower recession that was going on at that point.
Because production was down across the board in '58 for everybody.
If you look at Chrysler Corporation, they were off by 60% comparing '58 production versus '57 production. So it hit the industry hard. It rebounded by the end of 1958. It was coming back. '59 Fords did quite well. They had really toned down the Edsel line. It went from 18 models to just 10 models. And it was severely toned down. But as early as December of '57, they were trying to do an exit plan for the Edsel. I've seen the paperwork. And
December of 57.
December of 57, they were running comparison notes. Is what happens if we kill it now? What happens if we kill it in the middle of 59? What happens if we kill it right, before the 60s come out? And they were doing all these wonderful little things. In 58, they had the Pacer and Ranger series, which was based on a Ford. And you have a Citation, 58 Citation in your yard. Citation, of course, there was based on the 57 Mercury. And as early as May of 57, which was 4 months before the car went on sale, they were talking about discontinuing those cars. So it was, like I said, it was just an ill-conceived car, but it left a legacy. Roy Brown, who was the chief designer with the 58s, he said, I wanted to design a car that people will recognize from a block away. And if you see in the front end of an Edsel, a 58 Edsel, you know it's
with the iconic horse collar grill.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't even realize that McNamara was so much against the cars.
He was very much against it. If you look at a 58 Edsel, again.
Yeah, I mean, and that nose is pretty hard to miss.
You call that the horse collar. Edsel called it the impact ring. And that's a 58 Citation there. But yeah, the car was unique design, but it was still a lot of components were shared with it. The engines were all new. They had the MEL engine, which was later used in Lincolns and even Ford Thunderbirds and Mercuries. In the Edsel, it was 410 cubic inch. They called it the E475, so a lot of people think, ooh, a 475 cubic inch engine. It was only 410, and the 475 represented the foot-pounds of torque.
So kind of like what Buick did with a lot of their air cleaners.
Well, yeah,
where people think they got a 310 Buick, it's a 300 with 310 foot-pounds of torque.
Exactly, 445 Wildcat.
Exactly, it was a 401 or a 425,
right.
And they said 445, 465.
And that was the foot-pound torque rating. So, yeah, they did the same thing. And it was kind of, but the kicker is the engine that came in the Pacer and Ranger was the 361. It was the FE engine, which started off as the 352, went into the 390, then became 406. It is the basis for the 407. Some people call it the FE engine. When I was a kid, I thought FE meant, iron. Because you cast iron, that's the periodic table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you go back to science class. And then I said, no, that means Ford Edsel. That was a Ford Edsel engine. And so from that development, and people say Ford lost $250 million, $1957 million. And I don't think they did, because they did learn a lot from it. Those engines went on to make them a lot of money. And they also learned about construction. One of the other problems with Edsel is Fords were built in Ford plants. Mercury's and Lincolns were built in Mercury and Lincoln plants. If you wanted to build a Ford in a Mercury plant, you couldn't do it. So the Edsel came out, and all of a sudden these plants, which had only built one brand of automobile, the Mercury plants were told, you're going to be building an Edsel. The Ford plants said, you're going to be building an Edsel. And sometimes the line workers were like, okay. And the car would end up at the end of the line with maybe a part's missing, not fully attached. So the initial production quality was abysmal. It did get better. In fact, in 59, the 59 Edsels, which were all built in Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville was building Fords and Edsels, and they were really put together quite well. The 60s were. Auto Week actually declared the 60 Edsel as the best buy in the mid-priced car. And the article for that didn't come out till a week after it was discontinued.
The two-door Edsel with the fence laying on it.
The two-door
out
Edsel.
here.
Yes.
That's a 58. What model was that? Do you remember?
That's a Citation.
58 Citation. That's the one I got from Tractor Mike.
Built in Wayne, Michigan.
Built in Wayne, Michigan.
One of the assembly plants there. which also built Mercury's.
Okay, Dirty did a history paper on Ford in high school. A couple years later, I turned it in the same paper for econ, turned it in again for marketing, and got an A every time. Well, that's good.
Ah.
Did the 410 have the crank-driven power steering pump?
The XR49 power steering was introduced late in the model year. To date, I think we've only found maybe 10 or 15 examples. But yeah, at the beginning, it was kind of your standard using a pump and the whole routine. And later on in the year, they had the integral unit, and they called that the XR49. There's a bit of worthless information.
Okay, let's see. You guys are getting thirsty again. Yep, we got to get that in there for sure.
Wait a second. Now, what does that represent?
That's what everybody needs to take a drink.
So where's mine?
I don't know. There's beer in the fridge if you need one. And then when we get serious, I give him this one.
Is that when we finish off a 12-pack?
Yeah. That's kind of the chug badge.
Ooh. I love automobilia, and every time I come to Chad's place, I just get enamored with everything that's here. And I like cats too, even the furry, fuzzy ones.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and give you the big boy. We haven't given you the big boy yet tonight. We'll give you one now. We'll save it for a little bit later. But boom, there it is. There's the big boy.
We have one of those in our sale.
Do you?
Coming up at the Boat Tail Roadster, 1932 Auburn 12.
So another good reason to get to the Auburn auction. How'd they come up with the design for the grill? Was that just because the guy wanted just to make sure it was that recognizable?
Roy Brown wanted something that would be distinguished, and he wanted a callback. So he kind of depended on cars of the 30s. And in the LaSalle was one in particular that he particularly liked.
And LaSalle had a very tall, narrow
They had the
grill.
very tall center grill with the grills off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of a modern incarnation of the LaSalle grill,
Okay.
which had been developed by Harley Earl.
Yeah. Is it known how many years the Edsel line was in planning and development? And that's kind of what I was thinking, just with McNamara against it, is what?
As early as 1951, they were talking about bringing out a new line of cars. Actual serious development started in March of 1955. And by probably March of 57, the car was pretty much wrapped up. And I have developmental photos going back to the 56 and 57. But by March of 57, the car was pretty much wrapped up, and they were doing prototype studies. And there were a lot of things that were planned for the Edsel that never made it, such as air suspension. They had that push-button transmission. The cat fur is getting to me. I'm sorry. The push-button transmission had a 5-button setup. There was a plan for a 6-button, which would have used the Cruise-O-Matic style transmission. So
You're turning into a problem, Gray Kitty.
I like you too.
There.
There. Okay.
Maybe you need to get down if you're going to be a
He
problem.
wants to be on camera, I guess. Anyway, the development was quite heavily. There were some guys talking about doing fuel injection, having a fuel injected system. There was one guy who really was pushing for him to have a front wheel drive setup as early as 56, 57.
So there was a lot of technical innovations proposed.
Well, they were given a clean sheet, so they could pretty much go anywhere they wanted to on developing things.
That's very interesting. And with McNamara being that much against it for the stroke that guy had back at that time,
mm-hmm.
Who pushed it through to get it around McNamara when he's already trying to kill it when it's coming out?
There were people at the same level as McNamara who were pushing for it, and Henry Ford II, who was Edsel Ford's oldest son, he was really kind of pushing for it, but he didn't want to call it the Edsel. The designers and everybody was kind of locked on the name Ventura, and a lot of early drawings of the Edsel, the designers put the word Ventura in it.
So prior to Pontiac using it,
exactly,
Ford almost used it for an entire car line.
Yes, it was almost going to be a Pontiac, and like saying that was the advertising agency, what was called Foot Cone and Belding. They ran an alleged contest where they came up with 5,000 different names, and Edsel was not in the group of 5,000. But that was the name, and I think a guy named Ernest Breach, who was actually the number 2 guy at Ford Motor Company at the time. He's the one that demanded them to come up with the Edsel, using the name Edsel. And I won't go through that joke again.
But that's still weird because I had never heard any of that about McNamara. Because I mean that guy had a lot of stroke. I mean, he ended up in Kennedy's cabinet.
Yeah, he became Secretary of Defense.
Yeah, I mean that guy had a lot of stroke, and for him to be that much against it, I mean that had to have been a massive internal
McNamara
struggle.
Came out back in the late 1940s, right after the war. There was a guy by the name of Tex Thornton, and Tex Thornton had assembled a group of logistics experts. These had all been officers in the Army, and they were the ones when we went and invaded Germany, and we were preparing to invade Japan. These were the guys who were preparing. Okay, here's what we're going to need. We're going to need the front assault group. We're going to need support group. We're going to need occupation groups. So these logistics people really were quite smart. Tex Thornton approached Henry Ford, and they had just brought Ernest Breach over from General Motors, and he said, "You bring in my guys, we can make Ford Motor Company profitable." And McNamara was one of the what they called the whiz kids.
Yep, I remember hearing that.
Right, and him and Ben Mills and Francis or Jack Reed, these guys were all sharp as could be, and they all went on to very successful careers.
Well, that's super interesting, and that's like I told you guys to start with. Phil is the Edsel man, and I mean, there's a lot of that I had never heard that we just discussed, which is so awesome that Phil can just walk in here and just recite this. It's like talking to Wicks about Mustangs. I mean, it's kind of.
I've spent a lot of time doing research. I did a project for Ford Motor Company in 2018, 2019, doing historical research. So, and we've been playing with this for almost 50 years, studying the cars and stuff. So it's a fascinating thing, but I'm not just a Ford person. We do have Cadillacs, and we have other cars in the fleet, so we're happy campers.
Well, that's awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Is there if you guys anybody else has any other questions, be sure to holler. Throw them up there. We'll sure try to get to them.
Again, if they want to come to Auburn, or if you have an Edsel question, just email me. It's Phil, PHIL, at worldwideauctioneers.com. And I will be glad to get in touch with you, and we'll do that. If you're on Facebook, look into any of the Edsel groups. You'll see my name in there. Feel free to contact me through Facebook, and we'll do that. And I hate to do this, but I've been on the road for all day today, and I'd like to go back to my room and get kind of freshened up and get together with you in the morning and go play at your junkyard.
You're always welcome.
Okay, well, you give me a call in the morning. Let me know what time.
Okay, sounds good. Phil,
Chad,
thanks for being here.
You guys are great. You've made this man so happy. He had no friends until you came along.
Yeah. There's some truth to that. But Phil, thank you. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. It was a great time. All right. Well, I hope you guys had a lot of fun with that. Phil's a great guy. Like I said, him and I became great friends and talk on a pretty regular basis. Let me reset cameras here a little bit. Try to square up here. And I think Facebook is pretty much dead. I'll see if I can change any settings here real quick, but I think it's pretty much dead. Let's see. Yeah, it's not really showing me much here that I can, no mics or anything I can flip on Facebook. So, okay. Let's see. All right. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I think Edsel did make a two-door wagon. I'm not sure. He's already gone. So, but that's right. All right, Facebook guys, there's put up another note on Facebook. All right. Nope, I don't have an Edsel promo tonight. I've only got one Edsel promo. I think we've already done that. So, but yeah, glad you guys enjoyed it. I still show a couple people on YouTube, and I've had a few more comments pop up. I think some guys that have been jumping on. I probably should just go ahead and kill it. Yeah, we've got auction tonight. We're going to go ahead and do the raffle. I think we won't worry about badges or anything. We'll save all that till next week. We'll get the raffle done. We'll get some auction stuff squeezed in. We'll give you some more badges. We got to have some badges to keep this night going. And obviously, when Phil texted me last night and said, hey, I'm leaving the Edsel convention. I'm going to be coming through your way. I need a great bin stop. Of course, you're obviously more than welcome. Phil's always welcome. He's a great guy. And we get along really well. So had a lot of fun. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I learned a ton of stuff that I didn't know about Edsels, and I've known Phil for a long time. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it and had a lot of fun with it. That being said, let's go ahead and get the raffle knocked out. We'll do some auction stuff. If we have some time, we will do a little bit of magazine stuff too. New inventory, I'll catch that. I didn't pick up any cars this week, but I got more signs and I got more toys, and that also has something to do with our new raffle. So we're going to get to that here shortly. Anyway, let's go ahead and give away some license plates. Who's ready for that? In the big Buick oil can tonight. Oh, yeah, real quick. And thanks for bringing that up, Devin. Let me touch on that real quick because I've had several people contact me on that deal. There is an auction next weekend. Silas posted a video on it. It's about 30 or 40 miles from me. I've looked at that deal, 4 or 5 years ago I looked at it. In fact, I've got all the pictures on my computer. I can show you everything that's there. They actually contacted my partners with F&E about doing the auction. However, they didn't get it. But we did discuss, there was a possibility that we were even going to sell it, but it didn't come together. So I'm going to try to get down there. I don't need to be buying any cars. Not only have I bought way too many cars lately, I've got some other big deals working. There's Alan. So I got a lot of money going out, here in the next few weeks. So, but I'll probably try to run down there for a little bit. I did try to catch as many comments. I know I missed some of you guys. I apologize for that as things were scrolling through there pretty quickly, but I hope I caught most of them. So anyway, let's give away some license plates. Who got in this week here at the end, the last week? Now, as you guys remember, we're giving away. You will have your choice, a set, 35, 36, 37 Minnesotas. Or $35, 36, 37 Kansas. Or a set of numerical order brand new 66 plates. These are still in the envelope. Number 8270 and 8271. Austin's back. So, who got in this week? Some of these just got in today. Tweedly D, Mary, Alec Blanchett, Kenny Peterson, Adam Briggs, and Austin McCoy all got in this week. Let me get my notepad ready so that I can jot this stuff down. And let's start yanking some names out of the big Buick oil can, and then we're going to announce the new raffle. All right. The big Buick oil can's full of names. Let's start yanking them out. Now, as you guys can see, lots of familiar names in there ready for the drawing tonight. Well, I had a few cars sell on eBay. We'll see if I get paid for those. So, yeah, I need some money coming in because I got a ton going out. All right, let's yank a name out of here. The first name out of the big Buick oil can. All right, I think I'm down to one. What do we got here? Adam Briggs. All right, Adam is our first winner. So, Adam, what would you like? Minnesota plates. Perfect. Let's yank out another name. Kansas plates still on the line, as well as the new old stock 1966 plates. Oh, ads coming up. Let me kill these ads. All right. All right, Adam is out. If we yank Adam's name again, we'll yank another one. All right, I think we're down to one. Austin. All right, Austin, you want the 35, 36, 37 Kansas, or do you want the new old stock 66 plates? Let's have a Hudson badge while we're thinking about it. Okay, Austin wants the old Kansas ones. Okay. Got this new old stock pair of 66s yet to go. And this next raffle, the new one, we've never done it before. I hope you guys like it because I spent too much money on this stuff. All right, one more name for the license plates, unless it's Austin or Adam. They're out. Oh, we got Adam again, so we're going to yank another one. Let's try it again. So you coming next weekend, Tractor Mike, or what? It's $1 a chance, Superior. Check, money order, PayPal, friends and family. $1 a chance gets you in. We do this every month. All right, let's see if this name is not Austin or Adam. And it is not. It is Charles Fitz. All right, let's get one more name out of there to start off the new raffle. We started doing this a couple months ago, and it's been a lot of fun. We're going to have one more winner. They're going to get the first 10 entries into next month's raffle. So who's going to get their name in here 10 times to start off the next raffle? As long as it's not Austin, Adam, or Charles. What do we got? Alex Kalish. Whoops. Alex will start off next month's raffle. All right. That was fun. Now, like I said, next month is going to be something totally different. Never done it before. Never found good enough stuff to do it with of this type of stuff. I hope you guys like it. I paid up for some of this stuff, especially the first prize stuff. The second and third prize are more mediocre, but they're still pretty decent. I think you guys are going to like them. I hope you guys are going to like them. I hope you buy a ton of tickets for them. But it's something different. We talk about them. I've got a bunch of killer ones that we're going to be sharing with you soon on some Toy Tuesdays. And I'm going to see what you guys think of this. I know some of you guys will be super excited about it. I just hope a lot of you guys are super excited about it. Because we're all a fan of Hot Wheels. It's where it all started for pretty much all of us. Toy cars got us to where we're at. Should have never bought the first ones. Should have stayed away from them when we were kids. But we're not that smart. So, I came up with a new idea. We've been talking about, I'm always trying to find different things for raffles. In fact, I got some porcelain this weekend that we're going to be coming up on raffles too. But we've never raffled these. We've never auctioned them because I actually... They're so hard to find decent ones. Even that when I find decent ones, I keep them. But I found some stuff this weekend. I was like, man, I hope it's a great idea. I hope you guys are excited about it. Red lines. Early, original paint red lines. So you guys want to see them? You guys want to see some red lines? Oh, because they're in here. They're hiding in here. I see some people getting excited. Good. I hope you're excited because I paid up for some of these, but they're pretty good red lines. So, okay, let's get started. There will be 7 red lines, 3 different places. There will be two mid-range pairs for second and third, and the second place person can choose. And then first place is going to get 3 red lines. So we're going to start off with our 2 pairs for second and third place. These are original paint. This one has a stripe on it, but it is a sticker. Then we're going to get into the grand prize of the red line drawing for the month of August. The first 2 pair, the mid-range stuff. This is our mid-range stuff. We'll start with the worst one. I'm glad there's lots of excitement about them. Good. Starting off with the Mantis. This is original paint. It does have some wear on it. 1969 on the Mantis. It is missing the bubble. This should have a clear plastic bubble over it. That is missing. Exhaust pipes are not broken. Paint has some scratching and chipping, but not terrible. All 4 original red lines. The bottom is pretty clean. Going with the Mantis. Let's see if I can see the year on this one. Can't quite make out the year. On the Silhouette. This does have the bubble. It does have some chipping and scratching in the paint. Please remember, the paint on these things was so super thin that finding any of these with decent paint, even this good, is tough. Axles are bent a little bit on this one, but it does have all 4 original tires and wheels. This is the August raffle. So these two will be going as a pair. The Mantis and the Silhouette. The next pair. We're going to start off with the Twin Mill in red. Twin engine. This white stripe is a sticker. It can come off. The red paint does not look half bad on this thing. This one is red all the way around. Twin Mill, obviously twin engine. You can leave the stripe on it or take it off, but still pretty darn decent paint. Bundled up with the Twin Mill. The Diora. Yes, the Ranchero / pickup / chopped A100 style truck. Pretty popular back in the day. No surfboards on this particular one. This one is gold in color. Does have some chipping. But windows are all still intact. All 4 original redline tires and wheels still intact. And a pretty sweet looking Diora. So these two will be going as a pair. That's right, no surfboards on the Diora. So these will be second and third place. The second place winner will have their choice, and the other pair will go to the third place winner. So I think we're starting off pretty good. These are pretty nice. I'm really excited about them. So who wants to see the 3 that are going to be the first place prize for August? Because like I said, for as hard as it is to find good original red lines, these ain't half bad. Yes, this Diora is set up for surfboards. You can see the slots in it right there where the surfboards would have been. Dean is excited and ready to see the other Hot Wheels for the first place winner. All right. The 3. These are going as a set of 3 for the first place winner in the raffle. All 3 of these going to the winner. First off, Turbo Fire. Oh, yeah, check that out. Bam. Bam. Mid-engine, Turbo Fire. The rear hatch opens. Pretty darn decent paint. All 4 original redline tires and wheels. Marker scrape on the bottom. Somebody just took some black marker to it. I don't know if you guys can see the mid-engine part in there or not. So there's the first one, Turbo Fire. So Turbo Fire? Yep, Turbo Fire. Going along with Turbo Fire, we just saw this one. This one has a little bit shinier paint. It also has a white stripe on it that can be removed on another Twin Mill with a little bit deeper red paint than what we had on the other one. This also has the right stripe. Must have came from the same place as the other one. All 4 original redline tires and wheels. And a great looking Twin Mill going along with Turbo Fire for the winner. Now, one more. Save the best for last. Going along with Turbo Fire and Twin Mill to this month's winner. An absolutely gorgeous not carded, but not far off, with great blue paint, a couple of chips in it, but not bad, on an awesome blue splitting image. Check this thing out. Look at the color on this. Look at the bottom of this. Now, I love the blue on the splitting image. And obviously, you guys like it. Pete's really excited about it. A lot of guys remember splitting image. This is a beautiful splitting image. But we're going to take it one step further. Like I said, the splitting image is not carded, unfortunately. So you're going to get Turbo Fire, Twin Mill, splitting image. But what you're going to get to go with splitting image, that's right, but wait, there's more. You get the button to go with splitting image. Yes, the original metal Hot Wheels button. This splitting image, not only is it this nice, it still has the button. I see a lot of hearts. That's awesome. Lots of hearts and more hearts. Good. I'm glad you guys are excited. So, like I said, as you guys know, yeah, we'll get those on a Toy Tuesday, because we did get some amazing ones for our collection that Addie and I got, that are our keepers. But like I said, we've never done red lines, but they're so hard to find good ones. Addie wants to do one tonight. Do you guys want to do one of the new ones that we got this weekend? But when I found this place that had ones this decent, like I said, they're not cheap. To get red lines in this condition aren't cheap. But I thought that would be worth trying for a raffle. So, just a quick recap. Yeah, Devin's right. Don't have any of these to auction. You can choose this pair. Mantis or Silhouette if you're second. You guys are getting thirsty. I don't blame you. Twin Mill and Diora. And the big winner for the month of August is going to get a Turbo Fire, a Twin Mill, and this amazing blue splitting image with button. So, you guys want to see one that we got for us? One of the good ones. All right, let me run and grab one. Oh, real quick before we do that, you know what this means? Yep, time to empty the big Buick oil can. Got to start off fresh next week. Are we empty? Yep, we're empty. Ready to start refilling. Alex's name will be the first one going in. What are you doing, Gray Kitty? What are you doing, weirdo? These are all right in that 69 window, Pete. 69, maybe 70, 71. I didn't know that either, Devin. What? 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 All right, let me go grab one. Those are still out in the main shop. Let me go dig one out. Okay, here we go. We'll show you one of these. We're going to get into more of these on an upcoming Toy Tuesday. We'll show you the little sedan. Addie picked this one out. She found these little display cases at Hobby Lobby for them or somewhere. This whole box is full of them. This one, let me see if I just get it out of here. And this is the, like I said, you've seen the quality on some of those. That's why we bought some for ourselves as well. Here's one that we got, the Demon. This little chopped two-door sedan. Once again, not carded, but look at this baby. It doesn't get much better. And not be carded. So we've got about 8 or 10 of these red lines coming up on a Toy Tuesday to share with you. But this is one that this is another one we just got. So we'll get some more of those out a little bit later on. Okay, you guys want to do a few auctions tonight? What do we want to do? Magazine auctions. I hope you're excited about the raffle. I am. I love those things. And I hope you guys are digging it because I'm pretty excited about it. Matt wants to do some auction stuff. Well, we've got some stuff we can sure do. So, auction a red line. I don't have any auctions ready to red line. Excuse me, any red lines ready to auction. I do have a few, but I've got to sort through some stuff. Looks like all you guys are ready for some auctions. Well, let me get a few things shuffled around here, and we'll do some auction stuff. What's the date for the raffle? Great question, Tweedly D. Let's take a look at that. I forgot about that. Well, I was too excited about red lines. Well, I guess we'll do it on the 1st. September 1st is a Sunday. So we'll do it September 1st. And then be ready to roll with the September auction. So September 1 on the red line giveaway. All right, let me get a few things shuffled around here. Let's get some auction stuff rolling. Good, Matt. Glad you got your truck. All right. Yeah, no kidding, Bill. It is that close to September. Okay, let's get into some auction stuff. I know you guys have been waiting. We've had kind of a messed up schedule tonight, but I think it was well worth it having our good friend Phil here with all of his knowledge. So awesome, Dirty. Glad he's digging it. As always, real quick, I know a lot of you guys have been through this, but in case we got any new people on, we'll look at an item. We'll talk about it. We'll point out any imperfections in it. We'll talk about that car a little bit. We'll give some dimensions on it. After we get done with all that, we'll put it on a timer. We will go 2 minutes. I will tell you when 1 minute has passed. I will tell you when 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. At that point, it's time to be thinking about your maximum bid. Everybody has a delay. Whether your delay is 5 seconds or 30 seconds, everybody has one. At the end of 2 minutes, the high bidder that I see will be the winner. I know sometimes you guys see things differently from me. Obviously, it doesn't look like Facebook is working at all tonight. So, in fact, we may just shut it down. I think we'll just shut Facebook down here since it isn't working anyway. Vietnam is moped country. They use mopeds for everything. All right. I'm just shutting Facebook completely down. That way we don't have any confusion. Okay. All right. Let's start digging through some stuff. We got some more toys tonight. We got license plates. We got hubcaps. We got a cat. You want to go, cat? We'll sell you, dummy. Really? Don't push your luck. So tonight's all small stuff. Shipping will be included in the 48 states. Also, it is the end of July. If you have stuff hanging from June, and there are a few things hanging from June, please get with me. Next week, they will be back in the auction boxes ready to go. So I can get June wrapped up. This isn't even gray kitty. This is a golden kitty. Yes, you, dummy. All right. Let's do a little bit of digging through these boxes and see what we got. We'll start off with a few smaller toys, kind of get things rolling. And some caps, some plates. We got all kinds of, some horn buttons, some emblems. No, we are going to golden tickets. We have a couple of those left. That's a good question. Since we've had some mix-ups on the feed, we're going to extend them through August. No, he's not golden kitty. He's a pain in the butt. Zach and Chris still have golden tickets to use in the month of August. Since we did announce that when we did the drawing, they would be good throughout August. So, but they will need to be used in August because I don't want to drag them out for 6 months and forget about them. So let's go ahead and start off with a couple of these Tootsie toys. Like we talked about last week, I got 10 boxes of Tootsies and other various toys. Knocking the discounts off. You've got a full ticket. Oh, the discounts were. I've still got that discount list too. I do not have it in front of me. If you have a discount, a 10% off, be sure to let me know. Because at the end of August, those will be null and void too. That list is over here in my stack. I just don't have it in front of me. But if you still have a 10% discount coupon, make sure to let me know when you pay so I know what's going on. So, okay. Let's go ahead and get ready to boogie here. We'll start off with a few small Tootsies, and we'll work on some other toys, some other caps, some other plates. So let's have some fun. Starting off with a couple of small pieces. These are both Tootsies. The first one, looks like a 49 Ford convertible. Check out this cute little guy. Red, does have some paint loss, does have original tires and wheels, but kind of a cute little dude. Going along with that, text Phil back real quick. Okay. The other one, another little Tootsie, a little fire truck. I think it's a fire truck Tootsie. Also red, some paint loss, original tires and wheels. Cute little dude. And like I said, these aren't high dollar ones. That's why we're starting off with some smaller ones and selling them in pairs. These are this one's a little over 3 inches. And this one is about 3 inches. So the truck is a hair longer than the car. So anyway, anybody on the little Tootsies? I think this is a 49 Ford convertible. Or do we need to throw more Tootsies in? We'll keep throwing more Tootsies in if you guys want more Tootsies. You tell me what you think. All right, one more Tootsie going in with these two Tootsies. You're also going to get, and this is a Tootsie as well, a Battleship Tootsie. I don't know that I've seen these before. K880. This actually says United States of America on the bottom, Tootsie toy. Devin, 15. Dean at 10. So you're going to sell all three of these. Kevin at 16. The little Ford convertible, the little fire truck, and the Battleship. The Battleship is, let me give you a length on the Battleship, about 4 inches. So you're going to get all three of these all together. Let's get them on the timer. Kevin at 16. All right, we're ticking away. I'm going to look and see what we want to do next. Yep, you sunk my Battleship. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Devin, 18. Minute 30 gone. Devin at 18. Coming up on the 2-minute mark. Getting ready to wrap this one up. Devin at 18. Dirty at 20. And that does it. Dirty snuck in there with a $20 bid. All right. Good start. I love those little Tootsies. They're a lot of fun. Let's catch a license plate. And I don't think we've done very many of these. It's kind of, when I pulled this one out of the stack, I was like, I don't remember doing a lot of this year of Kansas. And it is a pretty unique one because they only did this for a few years. We're obviously familiar with the ones where they have to show the outline of the state on the plate. I don't know what your delay is, Tweedly D. How is it feeding over there in Vietnam? This is one of the Kansas plates where they actually cut the corner of the state out of the plate. Yes, in 1951, the license plate itself was actually cut out of the corner to match the state of Kansas. This one is original paint. It is bent up a little bit. Some chips, scratches, things like that. Check money order, Western Union, or PayPal, friends and family, Thomas. And all that information is in the description part of this video after you get done. Tweedly D at 5. So all that info is in the text part of the video if you had any questions. Devin 10, Tony 15. This is a truck plate. Truck is actually stamped and embossed in it. And Tractor Mike at 12. We already got outbid by Tony. Devin at 16. So let's go ahead and get this one on the timer and get going. Alan at 20. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. Kenny says hit the like button. Appreciate that. 1 minute gone. 1 minute left to go. Alan at 20. I just buy a lot of old cars, Thomas. I buy a lot of old cars, a lot of parts, a lot of memorabilia. Just did it showing off, showing the stuff that I was dragging into the yard. Coming up on the minute 30 mark. Tony at 22. And there's a minute 30. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Briggs, 23. Coming out of the wire with a few seconds left. Briggs at 23. Is that a 35 Tweedly D or is that a like? And that does it. Briggs at 23. Oh, and on last week's stuff, guys, the stuff that got paid for right away, I got out, but I left Thursday. Or no, I left Friday. But the stuff that I got paid for some stuff Wednesday and Thursday that I did not get out before I left. So some of that stuff will be going this week. Able at 21, that was just, it must have got hung up in the system. So anyway, let's catch a grease cap. Then we'll catch a horn button. We've done something similar to this one before, but this has a good look to it. This is a Buick grease cap, and what was cool about it is the way the letters polished up when I cleaned it. Check this thing out. I don't know if this is a brass cap, the way these polished up. Obviously, it was plated, but most of the plating is worn off. We can obviously see the hex head around it where it came off to unscrew it. It is internal thread like most of these grease caps. Tweely at 5. So at least it's working over there. What? This Buick grease cap is 2 3/4 across the back. Yeah, the script is great. That's kind of the killer part about this grease cap, is the script is just amazing on it. And about 2 1/8 across the hex part. Guile at 10. So good looking Buick grease cap. Let's go ahead and get it on the timer. Guile the car guy at 10. Please remember, guys, if you just have one little $15 or $20 thing, I will try to hold it for a week and try to ship them together with some other winnings. Dean at 13. But I won't keep your stuff more than a couple weeks. I just got to keep things in a row, keep things moving. Alec at 15. Devin at 15. Dean, 16. Alec, 18. Tony, 22. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Abel, 23. Guile, 25. I think I shipped yours, Kenny, because you had 2 or 3 pieces. So a minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. But I do appreciate that, guys, when you do work with me and don't have a problem with that. So Guile at 25 as we're ticking away, coming down to the end of this one. We got a little bit of time left, but not much. Tony at 28. Horn button coming up next. Guile at 30. And that got it done. Guile the car guy at 30. That's a good looking cap. Now what are you doing, Gray Kitty? Mark's thirsty. Good point, Mark. I'm glad you stay on top of me. I keep forgetting. What the heck? Let's give you a double whammy. Guile's first grease cap. Boy, shouldn't have stuck that needle in your arm. All right. How about a horn button? Need to do a horn button. Another one of these real deep 3D type things. Polishing it up a bit here. Make this chrome shine. Something for our Pontiac fans. And this is a beauty. This is one where it's suspended. Mary at 10, she don't even care. Trust me. you got nothing to worry about. I think this is 1955 Pontiac. Check out the Chief Pontiac suspended in the horn button. Look at that thing. Gold Chief Pontiac head suspended in the acrylic. Now, this isn't a metal chrome housing. It does have some depth to it. It twisted on the back. This one is about 3.5 in diameter. So, she's a beauty. All right, lots of bids on this. John swinging at 35. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the timer. Kyle, the car guy's got to get his jaw off the floor. Like I said, these horn buttons are amazing. This one was real borderline as to whether it was even going to end up here, but I decided to let you guys take a shot at it. So. Coming up on the 1 minute mark, John at 35. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Mary at 35, that must have been hung up because I got John at 35 already. See the depth in that thing. And the lens is just right here at the base of these serrations. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. John at 35. Just about ready to wrap it up. Kevin at 37. Pete, 47. Tony, 45. John at 40. So Pete gets it done. That'll wrap it up. Pete at 47. Kevin had a 50 in there, but it was too late. John had a 48. It was too late. Pete at 47. Tony had 50. Holy cow. That's a great piece. Yeah, Pete was who I had at the 200. Everything came in after that. Let's see what else we got. Abel had a 51 in there. Holy cow. There was a whole slug of stuff popping up in there, just all too late. All right, let's catch another plate. Let's go to a different state this time. Hudson Badge. Okay, let's catch another plate and go out of state. Let's go a little bit north of here to the Cornhusker State. Yes, this Nebraska plate, 1972 with a 73 sticker on it. I don't know if this was supposed to be white, but it almost looks yellow. This was a printed plate. The backside of this is metal, but it is a steel embossed plate. So, this is a standard 6x12 plate. If you have any friends from Nebraska, or Devin at 15. I don't know anything about the Nebraska plate, so I don't know for sure what the numbers mean like I do on the Kansas. But it does say Cornhusker State. That is all stamped in it. So kind of a neat plate. Devin at 15. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the timer and get started. Abel, 16. Dennis, 22. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. I think we'll do another toy next. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left. Just about ready to wrap it up. Dennis at 22. Briggs at 23, and that does it. Whew. Talk about sneaking that one in with about 158. Briggs at 23. All right, let's catch another Tootsie. This one's a little bit bigger and a little bit cooler. Does have some paint loss, but it's a great piece. This Tootsie, just by itself, this is a bigger one, 6 inches long. Right at 6, 5 7/8. It's got a big K on it, and it is kind of the way that the design looks, I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be a Kaiser. Can you see the K on that one? Obviously has some paint loss. I don't know if you guys can make the K out on that, if we can get the light just right. That does have a K on the front of it. The nose of it does look about like a 47 Kaiser. Does have both axles and all 4 wheels. It actually says United States of America on the bottom of it, Tootsie Toy. And I just noticed something else really cool about this Tootsie. I've never seen this on a Tootsie before. The price. It was originally 25 cents. So, like I said, this is much larger, almost 6 inches, based on a Kaiser, I believe. You can see the door handle stamped in it. Who's going to get us ready to roll on the little Tootsie Kaiser? This one you could probably even repaint because you're not really going to lose much on it or hurt it much since it already has paint loss. What do you want, Gray Kitty? What? 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 Dirty at 8. What are you doing? Dean at 10. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Gray Kitty's going to have to just just deal with it. Mark at 11. Abel at 12. Yeah, I think she does want in on the bidding. Glenn, 14. Keep it like a Kaiser. That's right. Tweedly D, hey, I don't blame you, Tweedly D. Glad you hung out with us tonight from, I drew a blank. Where are you at? Are you in Vietnam? Mary, 15. Glenn, 16. Tyler, why can't I not remember where you're at, Tweedly D? I know it's tomorrow there. Was it Vietnam? Vietnam, okay. Tweedly D, join us from Vietnam. Got to sign off. They got stuff to do because it's Monday over there. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us, even though you're on vacation, Tweedly D. That's right. Have a good time over there and enjoy yourself. Glenn at 16 on the Kaiser. Minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Glenn at 16. Just about ready to wind this one down. Glenn at 16. And that'll do it. Glenn at 16 will add that one to his box the next time I go up there and pick up cars. Vacations are better with nobody show. Thanks. We haven't done any hubcaps yet. We did a grease cap. Haven't done any hubcaps yet. Where's our Ford fans at tonight? In fact, maybe we'll do a couple of caps. I got a Ford and a Chevy. That way we keep everybody happy. This one, I believe, is a 1940 stainless steel cap. Ford Deluxe. This does have some dings and dents in it because it is an original. I believe these letters were originally red on this particular one. This particular cap is about 9.5 in diameter. It does have some depth to it. It is kind of bowl-shaped. But it is one-piece stamped stainless on this Ford Deluxe cap. Alan's starting us off at 10. Oh, that's not Gray Kitty. That's the other kitty. What is your guys' problems? Alan at 10. Let's get this thing on the timer. What? Captain Crunch Bowl. There you go. Or a hat. Also works as a hat. You want to wear the hat, moron? You do? We're taking away. We've got Alan at 10. Their food bowls are full. They're just being a pain in the butt. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Alan at 10. Kevin at 12. A minute 30 gone. 30 seconds left to go. Bill Disk at 18. Alan at 15, but I got Bill at 18. Coming over, and we're coming down to the wire. Kevin at 19. Few seconds left. Mark at 13. Alan at 20. Alan at 20. Few seconds left. And that does it. Alan at 20. And they were, Kevin was in there shooting. Bill Disk was in there shooting. But Alan at 20 is who we had at the 2-minute mark. It was kind of machine gun fire on that one. Let's catch another license plate. This one's a little bit different. We've never done anything like this one either. I got a few other plates yet tonight too. We'll see how things go. But this one's a little bit different. It's Oklahoma, which we haven't done a lot of Oklahoma stuff. And it's commercial truck. It's 60 years old, going back to 1964. Check this one out. Basic white with black letters, Oklahoma 1964 commercial truck. This is, all embossed. Every bit of this is embossed on this commercial truck 64 Oklahoma plate. Even this perimeter outline is all stamped into the plate, and it's just basic black and white. I don't know if that's how they did Oklahoma plates in 64. I don't know if this was just because it was a commercial truck. That's kind of part of what makes it unique, though. So Alan's starting us off at 10 on the 64 Oklahoma commercial truck. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the timer. Get rolling. Mary at 12. White and black 1 year, black and white the next, okay? Abel, 14. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. A minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left. Briggs, 15. Big Job, 20. Matt, 16. I got Big Job at 20. Just about ready to wrap this one up. And that does it. Big Job at 20. Austin, 21. Briggs, 21. Mary, 21. But Big Job at 20 is who we had at the 2 minute mark. You guys are noisy. Got one more Tootsie in tonight, and this is the coolest. This is the coolest Tootsie toy we had for tonight. I saved it till after we sold the other ones. Great looking Tootsie truck. Well, I think it's a Tootsie. Actually, it says Jane Francis on it. Maybe this isn't a Tootsie. This is Jane Francis on it. It's 5 inches long, and it is a great looking truck. Check this thing out. Obviously some paint loss. It's been played with. 5 inches long. Silver streak Pontiac streak on the hood. Tires and axle still intact. But a good looking little, I guess it's a Jane Francis. Dirty at 15. Yeah, this thing is cool. It's a great looking one. Cut down bed on the back. Devin, 22. Let's go ahead and get this thing boogieing and on the timer. Glenn says Diamond T. It definitely has a Diamond T style roof line. There's no doubt about that. So we're ticking away. Devin at 22. Hey, dummy. Hey, cool it. Quit. So they're splashing in the water. Glenn at 24. Abel's bids must be really getting hung up because they're always way behind. So he must have a terrible delay. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Yeah, cat's doing cat things. True. Glenn at 24. Good idea. Good idea, Dean. Glenn at 24 as we hit the minute 30 mark. This is a cool looking truck. Let's see what you guys think. Just about ready to wrap this one up. Glenn at 24. Dirty 28. WW25 at Dirty at 28, and that does it. Dirty at 28. Super cool toy. All right, let's catch another hubcap. Then we'll kind of see where we're at. Yeah, shoot, we're almost 2 hours in. Let's catch another cap. Then we'll see where we're at. This is a great looking patina cap. Our Chevy fans, I think, are really going to dig this thing. It is original paint, scuffs, scratches, but it's really not that beat up. I think it's a 1 year only cap, and it has a great look to it. On this Big Job's already at 10. We're ready to go. 1954 Chevrolet half-ton pickup hubcap. Check this thing out. Original white with the blue on the big bow tie, the white in the center bow tie. Chips, scuffs, scratches, but this thing is amazingly really pretty straight considering it's 70 years old. Mary, 15. Backside has surface rust, but it's not all rotted away. But a killer look to this thing. Guile at 20. It is. Just, what the heck happened to my tape measure? Mary, 25. This one's a little under 10 across in diameter, just under 10 inches. So let's get this thing on the timer. We've got Mary at 25. Hoods and badge. Lots of action right out of the gate, and now crickets. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Tractor Mike at 26. Mary, 30. Devin, 30. I figured you guys would dig this one. Coming up on the 1 minute mark. There it is. 1 minute gone. 1 minute left to go. Mary at 30. I had her just ahead of Devin. But I got a feeling this one ain't done yet. Tractor Mike at 31. Mary, 35. Minute 30 gone. 30 seconds left to go. Mary at 35. What's going to happen in the end? Mary at 35. We're coming down to the end. What's going to happen? Austin, 38. Mary at 40. It just Pete at 43, but he was too late. Mary at 40 is who I had at the 2 minute mark. Holy cow. Pete and Kevin L were about 201, 202. Mary at 40 is who I had at the end. All right, we're right at 2 hours in, guys. Do we want to catch a couple more auctions? We want to wrap it up. What do you want to do? You guys tell me. I got a couple of cool license plates we can do if nothing else. Emblems, you want to do emblems? I don't know what I got for emblems laying here ready. I just ran over my shoestring. More auctions, more auctions. I tell you what, let's do these two license plates separately because they're great license plates. We'll do two more license plates and then we'll call it. These are good plates. I'm just going to forewarn you. These are good plates. We'll do the first one. 1931 Kansas truck plate. Check this one out. Devin at 10. This is a beauty. It's got a little bit of paint loss over here by this hole. This is original green and white. Original green on the back. This thing is straight and flat. I mean, this thing is 93 years old, and look at how flat it is. This is one of the longer, narrower, skinnier ones. Four and 3/8 by 14 and 3/8. 4 and 3/8 by 14 and 3/8. And look at the Kansas on this. It's kind of the offset like the 16 was with the A higher than the K in the end. Good looking plate, sharp piece, original paint. And, skip ads. I got ads coming up. Skip those. And obviously a lot. And there again, I told you guys I had two good plates. Let's hit the timer. And we've got Mary at 45 on the 31 Kansas right now. And maybe that did it. I don't know. There was all kinds of action there for a while, but it's a good-looking plate, that's for sure. And this next plate, I think, is even cooler. Devin at 50. Mary, 55. 1 minute gone, 1 minute left to go. There's the minute 30 mark. A minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Mary at 55. She'll pay for it, Mike. You know that. She always has in the past, at least. Devin at 69. Coming out of the end, we got a few seconds left, but we're getting tight on time. Devin at 69. Mary, 73. And that does it. Mary at 73. Devin had a 75 in there at 2:02. It was too late. Okay, we're going to catch one more plate. And I think this plate's really cool. I really dig this one. It's another early one. It's another great piece. We're going to need a Hudson badge before we even do it. Just a couple years newer, going back to 1935. But this one's a little bit different. It's not a Kansas plate. It's in good condition. Coming from the Rust Belt. Looks amazing. From the home of Detroit, where all the cars come from, Michigan, 1935. Now, this does have some paint loss up here across the top. This is an original black plate with yellow letters. This is all embossed. The Michigan, the 1935, all stamped in it. Once again, this plate is amazingly straight and looks great. But this is super unique to me, at least. I think it's really cool. Glenn at 10. And like I said, everything rusts in Michigan. So when this is all the rust we've got on this plate, that's not too shabby, because most of the stuff from 1935 from Michigan at this point, unless it's been stored inside, has fallen apart from rust. So this is a good-looking plate. Let me give you the size on it. It's fairly close to a standard-size newer plate. It's about 11 5/8 by about 5 5/8, so a little under our standard 6 by 12 plate. So, mark at 15. Let's get this thing on the timer and go with it. Let's wrap it up. This will be the last piece for the night because we're getting a little bit late, and I know you guys have other stuff you need to do. So, mark at 15. Devin, 25. Yeah, this has been quiet. I thought this thing was super cool. One minute gone, 1 minute left to go. Devin at 25. A minute 30 gone, 30 seconds left to go. Devin at 25. Briggs, 26. Mark, 26. Devin, 31. Coming out of the wire, Devin at 31. Austin, 32. Allen, 33. And that does it. Allen at 33. All right. Fun night again tonight, guys. Let's have another Hudson badge. What's coming up this week? I'll get that. I may throw that KKOA video up. I don't know if I'll get to it tonight, probably sometime tomorrow. Lots more content in there still. The new inventory, the Jim Wick stuff. One or two more even from Auburn Court Duesenberg yet still in the can that we need to share with you guys. So appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. I hope you had fun. Lots of great comments about the auction already. Thanks, guys. Had a lot of fun with Phil here. I was super glad that Phil was willing to come on with us, spend a little time with us, and share some of his knowledge. The fact that you guys engaged and had a great time with him and asked him questions. I mean, I learned a ton of stuff. So I know you guys had to have learned stuff as well. And like we always say, that's the point of doing this. That's why we do it. It's fun, and we all learn something and have a good time. And I hope you guys are excited about the redline raffle. Like I said, we've never done it before, never found stuff that good to work with, but I'm excited about it. So, great guy. Yeah, it'll definitely be well worth it. So, Tuesday, we will be back on with Toy Tuesday. At this point in time, we are caught up on the viewer boxes. And we've been doing the viewer boxes for the last several weeks. So I've got a ton of stuff that I've gathered up that we need to look at. Signs, toys, lots of great stuff. So we'll definitely do some Toy Tuesday live. I think Guitarzan did make a comment that he has seen the vertical thing on multiple lives that he is on. YouTube is at this point no longer allowing you to do a horizontal live. We have to do it like this. Which if you're watching on your phone is fine. If you're watching on a computer, smart TV, tablet, it kind of sucks. But that's a YouTube thing. I will watch and see if they will allow us to set it up that way yet. But Toy Tuesday, more than likely, probably going to be vertical once again. And we just got to work with what we can do. It's a YouTube thing. I don't know. It was so nice that when they had the button where you could actually set it which way you wanted to go, and that way you knew you were set for horizontal, mounted it on the tripod, showed the whole stand, everything we were digging out. But obviously, YouTube in their infinite wisdom knows way more than we do. So all we can do is work with it. That being said, we'll get some more of that content up this week. We'll see some of you guys Tuesday night. We will definitely refill the auction boxes for next week. If you have stuff hanging from June, please get with me. If not, it will be back in for next week and be resold. So anyhow, that being said, we're almost 2:10 in right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and jump off, let you guys get back to your evenings, and some of you get to bed, especially if you got to work tomorrow. Glenn said he posted a photo for Phil, so be sure to check that out on the Nobody's page. What happens if you don't use your phone? I think the screen looks narrow. I don't know. I know there was some comments, or somebody made some comments that they were watching on their smart TV, and it looked a little weird. So I don't know. We'll see. More Johnny Carson comments. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody's support and help. Yep, number 222 in the can, ready to wind it down. So sorry about that, Mark. But I believe you're the one that I kept asking for them, so I'm happy to oblige. Anyway, appreciate you guys being here, hanging out, making this what it is. I hope you learned something from Phil. We had a lot of fun tonight, as always. And we'll do it again next week. Hope to see you back here. We'll still shoot for that 8 o'clock time slot for, probably another month or so. We'll see how it works out, and then make a final decision on what we're going to do on a time slot and see how things work for everybody. And we'll do her again. What do you want, dummy? Meow. So, anyway, thanks for being here tonight. Thanks for making this what it is. Thanks for your participation in the chat with Phil, the auctions, everything. You guys are what makes this happen. Thanks for number 222. Have a great week, everybody, and we will see you Some of you Tuesday night. If not, we sure hope to see you right back here next Sunday night for some more Sunday Night Live chat. Thanks for watching, everybody.